Good morning. I'm Anthony Mason, and this is Sunday Morning. Don't be alarmed, but for the first time since the War of 1812, the threat of invasion looms across our long, peaceful border with Canada. Thankfully, the impending battle does not involve armies, and it isn't about land or resources. No, this brewing conflict is over coffee and donuts. A food fight of sorts. Jeff Glore will report our cover story.
Did you know that Canadians consume more donuts per capita than any other country in the world?
The old-fashioned glaze, that's my favorite.
That's thanks in large part to one chain, Tim Hortons. With more than 3,000 across Canada, Tim Hortons is as much a cultural icon as it is a donut shop.
What do you think of when you think America? We say apple pie.
Right. I think in Canada they do say Tim Hortons.
And now they've set their sights on the U.S. A food fight later this Sunday morning. What comes to mind when you think about Canada? Hockey? The Mounties? Moose? Maybe you should be thinking of a donut, but not just any donut.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons is everywhere.
Tim Hortons.
When I say donuts, what do you think of?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Absolutely. We're Canadian.
Canadian actor-comedian Colin Mockery.
I mean, it's the best of all Canadian worlds. It's named after a hockey player. You get donuts, you get coffee, and the help is very polite.
Tim Horton, the aforementioned hockey player, was an all-star Toronto Maple Leaf who opened a modest donut shop in Ontario in 1964 that turned into a gold mine.
If the business that I am involved in continues as it is, I may have to consider retirement before I would like to.
That's the Tim Horton Donut Emporium?
Yes, Tim Horton Donut.
Today, Tim Hortons, the company, is 3,000 plus shops that have sprung up over the Canadian landscape in the 45 years since.
Do you know what Tim Hortons is?
Yes.
Is that a dumb question?
That's not, well, it is a dumb question if you're Canadian, yeah.
Can I play?
The company sponsors youth hockey leagues. It set up shop in Kandahar to give Canadian troops a taste of home in Afghanistan.
Happy Canada Day. These are freshly baked donuts.
Don Schroeder is Tim Hortons' CEO.
People meet there. It's a modern-day pub. But
no
we have people, wedding parties, that want to visit Tim Hortons the day of the wedding because that's where they met. We even had a funeral go through the drive-through once, but that was the last request. But it's amazing, the stories.
But don't let all this folksiness fool you. This is business, big business. 2008 revenues for the company exceeded $2 billion. That's a lot of Boston creams. And it makes Tim Hortons the fast food king in Canada.
There are more Tim Hortons than McDonald's. Our total sales are greater than McDonald's. And McDonald's does a great job, and I know they look at Tim Hortons in Canada as a unique competitor.